Alright, everyone, welcome back to our Borderlands 4 skill tree looking sneak peek or look at breakdown slash build theory crafting, looking basically kind of checking out the skill trees of all of the characters. And now we're on Amon, the newest character that was just revealed. Now we get to see all of his abilities. I think, like I said, he's probably my preferred first playthrough character from some of his abilities. I guess let's kind of look at his skill tree. So we have first one. So we have Calamity, Necromechanical, and Vengeance. We have the first one with Necromechanical, which is Harsh Furnace. Amon is equipped with the Forge Axe, so this is where he throws his axes. She can be thrown and picked up from the ground and refunded for cooldown. Mouse button throws a Flaming Axe that deals melee damage, and then a Frozen Axe with a middle mouse button, or mouse button 2, not middle mouse. Enemies damaged by the Forge Axe will already start in a already state of a period of time. When they die or they are damaged by the Forge Axe, they will explode, causing damage to nearby enemies. Seems pretty powerful. Just pick and choose. Detonation, wait time per second, maximum stacks, cooldown return 50% when picking up axe, cooldown 20 seconds, so it's pretty fast. Let's see what we have here. So we have Cast Iron, Amon gains increased forward skills cooldown, and gun handling. Not sure what forward skill is, doesn't seem to say on here. Maybe it says somewhere else. But increased cooldown for forward skills and gun handling. Let's see. Kill skill, Amon does increase elemental damage for a duration. Okay, I think we go with that, maybe. Amon gains increased critical hit damage, so if that can double after dealing melee damage, which I guess these count as melee damage also, so maybe when you throw, you get more crit damage. It says Amon gains increased reload speed. Okay, so I think we go 3, and I think we go 2. I think we hold. I think we hold off. Let's see. Amon gains increased forward skill damage and detonation. I guess that's the axes. They deal more damage. I guess we want that. Blacksmithing damage. Do we know what blacksmithing is? Doesn't seem to say. Tempered Forge drone skill. Whenever Amon activates his forge skill, he spawns an axe forge drone that attacks nearby enemies for a duration, dealing incendiary melee damage. Activating the forge skill while tempered pyre is active fully restores the duration of all active forge drones. So tempered pyre is this ability. I think that could be really good. We basically get like a little familiar that follow us and does damage. What it sounds like. What do we have here? Bolt action. When Amon reloads his gun's gaining bonus shock damage for duration. I think that could be good. I think this might be good. Put 3. I guess put 1 point. Or maybe 2. Do we go back up here? I guess we maybe max you out. Alright, bonus shock damage could be really good. I think we put 2. I'll get 3. Let's see what we have here. We have Bellows. When Amon activates his forge skill, he gains increased gun damage for a duration. Is forge skill just his action skill, I guess? I guess that's what it is. It says Tempered Pyre now spawns an additional forge axe that deals cryo damage. So I guess if you take this, we want to take that. Kill skill, or vital organs, kill skill, Amon gains increased critical hit chance with guns for duration. I don't know about crit chance. What do we have here? Increase Amon shock damage with Herald's Call. I guess we put 3, take you, skip you. I guess we put maybe another 3. Now let's see what we have down here. Tempered Ice, Forge Drone, Forge Drone skill, whenever anyone activates his ordnance. So when he throws a grenade or pulls out his launcher, he spawns a Forge Hammer Drone, or Hammer Forge Drone that attacks nearby enemies for a duration, dealing cryo melee damage. Could be really good. Like I said, maybe you want to do another grenade spam build with him. We'll look at that in a bit. What do we have here? Amon gains increased ordnance damage and detonation radius. So I guess that's the radius of I guess radius of the grenade or your splash damage basically, or AOE damage. I think that might be good. Um, we'll hold off on that. I think maybe we take this. We hear a blast furnace when Amon or his forge drones critically hit an enemy or cause a detonation. You can increase damage dealt for a duration. Detonation grants multiple stacks. I think we want that. Tempered, tempered lightning. Forge drone skill. Whenever Amon activates his action skill, he spawns these swords forge drone that attacks nearby enemies for a duration, dealing shock melee damage, activating your active skill while tempered lightning is active will partially restore the duration of all active forge drones. So I assume you can have multiple out, not just one. So I think we take this. Maybe we skip that one. I don't know about this. I think we at least put points there. And we go over here. Permafrost. When aim on freezing enemy, cryo hazard is created under them, dealing cryo damage for a duration. If it does a lot of decent damage, that could be good. I guess we are kind of. Well, we're not really cryo. I guess we're more. I guess we are fire, cryo, and I guess now lightning. We have Raging Inferno, action skill. Action skill damage has a chance to critically hit and burn enemies when it does. Maybe we take that. I guess, let's see, 3 here. Maybe we want this. I guess the sword's better than the cryo hammer. So maybe we put 2. Freezes. We're not really going cryo. I think maybe we put at least 3 there. What do we have here now? Amon gains overshield when he deals action skill. Another more tankiness. We could take that. Amon's gunshots have a chance to critical hit spawn ammo bolt that deals shock damage. Okay, I like that. 4 drones deal increased attack speed and movement speed. All right, I think we might want to go to that. We don't really. What do we have here? Amon gains increased stats, effect damage, and hazard damage. I guess you can now buff it, so maybe that could be good for certain scenarios. Dealing incendiary damage with guns increases cryo damage for a duration. Dealing cryo damage with guns increases incendiary damage, so you kind of want to swap between the two. That could be really good. I guess it's guns only, so you have to use a gun. You can't use like a cryo grenade and get more fire damage, from what it sounds like. Detonations partly restore Amon's shield and ordnance cooldown. What do we have here? Whenever Amon deals a forward skill damage, creates a drone signaling for a duration. I think we go here. Overshield, maybe just 2. Have a spawn. I guess maybe 1% just for the chance. Increase attack speed. I think we at least want that. What do we have here? 4 drones have a chance to critically hit. Whenever a 4 drone critically hits, they partially restore Amon's action skill cooldown. I guess we put just 2. We're already at 37. What do we have over here? What do we have here? 4 drone does increase damage increases damage and duration. I mean, that could be good. Grenades have a chance to refund themselves on use. Heavy ordnance have a chance to refund 1 ammo on damaging enemies. I mean, grenade launcher, maybe that's what you would want. Whenever Amon deals ordnance damage, he gains increased fire rate for a duration. Like maybe, but not maybe what we want. Forge hammer drone now deals ordnance damage in addition to their other types, and gains a chance to cause detonations on damage, dealing cryo damage in an area. I think that could be good. But I guess we go to here. What do we have here? Storm surge, double edge. Double edge is now storm surge. What's double edge? I'm not sure. Have we seen that? Lightning run. I guess double edge is not pressing a whole action skill with those twin forward blades dealing shock melee damage in the area impact. Storm surge creates a forge storm on impact for duration dealing shock damage, a stats effect over time. I guess we take that. Sounds pretty cool. Now I guess we take one of these augments. We have our Action Stone. Amon gains increased movement speed for a duration after damaging an enemy with his Forge Axe. It can detonate primed enemies with melee attacks. Detonating a Flame Axe restores cooldown. Detonating with Cryo restores Ordnance cooldown. Eh, I mean, the cooldown and the movement speed's good, but the cooldown and Ordnance cooldown, Action Skill cooldown and the Ordnance cooldown, maybe early on that you would take that first. Primed enemies take increased gun damage for each stack of primed. If Amon detonates a primed enemy, a new Forge Axe will spawn that takes out nearby enemies. Okay, I think that could be good. I'm not sure what primed enemies means. I guess when you hit the enemies, they become primed if they don't die. I guess, well, hold on. Was this it? Storage? Is this it then? Amon now readies Forge Axe choosing Fire or Flame whenever activated, consumes all charges to launch a barrage of Forge Swords. Enemies damaged by Forge Swords are primed for detonation for a duration and will be detonated whenever they die or are damaged by a Forge Skill. By a Forge Skill dealing damage to the target, but none to nearby enemies can fire a barrage of flaming sword dealing incendiary melee damage or a barrage of shock sword dealing shock melee damage. This effect stacks. I'm not really sure what I just read, but I think that's cool, or that's what we would want. What do we have here? Did we read this one? Cryo damage. What's this? Frost Axe now applies freeze on impact. Flame Swords can now pass through enemies. I think maybe we would want this. But Endless War seems pretty good. I guess we do Endless War because it kind of makes more sense than whatever this is. Yeah. Some of these, I'm not really sure what they kind of like refer to certain things. I'm not exactly sure what that is and how it kind of manifests in gameplay. So I guess we just do that. We still got some more points, so I guess we can check out the other ones. Let's check out Calamity first. We have Kill Skill. Amon gains increased shield, recharge rate, and movement speed for duration. I think we want that. More tankiness. Incendiary damage. Well, I guess we kind of do incendiary damage. But I guess maybe this is more of a, if that was your main focus. Amon gains melee critical strike chance. That could be good. Amon gains increased melee damage and skill damage, which I guess is good for Calamity because I think this is his fire punch that he has. So let's see over here in the shields one. It says Amon gains increased stats effect application chance and cryo effectiveness. Maybe nah. Amon gains increased ordnance damage and magazine size. I think that could be good if we were going down the other ordnance section of that tree. Amon gains missing health regen each time Amon takes or observes non-stats effect damage. He gains a stack of resolves for duration. For duration, which increases this effect. So basically, just a lot of health regen. That sounds like. It says Amon gains increased gun damage for the more full his health is. I guess we could put 1 point. Maybe put 2 repair kit healing. So I guess this kind of buffs rev kits also, because that's what repair kit kind of means. What do we have here? Stats effect. I guess we hold off on that. I think there was some other stuff we wanted. I guess how many points? We got a few more points. I guess we max you out. Maybe incendiary. Skill damage could be good just in general, but increases skill to max shield capacity. It says melee damage increased, but it says max shield capacity plus 4% plus 8%. I mean, I'm not sure about that. I think this is something else. I guess we just put the rest here. And then anything else. And then maybe I'll put another point there, I guess. I'm not sure. I guess we'll go down. I leave Vengeance, which is the shield skill. So let's reset everything. reset you. Go here, and then we go, I think, Vengeance, which is, I believe, the shield. Amon equips a forward shield that absorbs all frontal damage as Vengeance. Whenever the Vengeance meter is full, forward shield provides damage reduction instead. Vengeance drains rapidly. If it has not been gained recently, pressing action skill to launch a forward wave dealing cryo ordnance damage to enemies that pass through. Consuming Vengeance to increase damage dealt. So I guess Vengeance. Okay, I think we want that. Let's close that. So we have shield of recharge rate, movement speed, more burn damage, maybe. I don't know about critical hit chance. Melee. This seems a bit. We'll hold off on that skill, I guess. I go to you. I guess we go burn damage. At least 3. And increase aim and stats, effect damage and duration. That could be really good. What about you? Melee damage. It's kind of misspelling. A lot of misspellings in this. Melee damage and ordnance damage has a chance to apply weakness to enemies for a duration. Weakened enemies deal reduced damage and take increased damage. Weakens is affected by status effect. I think we want that. What do we have here? Amon's melee damage and skill damage increase. I think we want that. Well, I guess skill damage is what we want. So I guess we put 3. And I guess with 3, I guess maybe 2. What do you have here? Amon becomes immune to all damage for a brief duration whenever you activate your forward skill. Okay, I think we want that. So just a 1-pointer. Whenever Amon applies stats effect, he gains increased gun damage for a duration. I guess we want that too. It says whenever Amon deals gun damage, he gains increased action skill cooldown for a duration. Maybe just put a point there. Amon gains a super shield while dealing melee damage. Super shield 3%. Not sure what that means. I guess maybe that's another version of overshield. So we take you. I guess we put 2 there. And I guess 2. We leave that. So now what do we want to go down? Yeah, whenever Amon activates his forward skill, he becomes Berserk for a duration, gaining slow immunity and bonus cryo damage, and with gun damage and melee damage. Bonus cryo damage with gun damage and melee damage. Okay. It says whenever Amon's shield breaks, he gains Bloodlust for a duration, gaining increased reload speed and lifesteal. So whenever he breaks his shield, more health. That could be really good. Let's see. Into the fray, Amon gains increased damage dealt and damage reduction based on the distance from the enemies. The closer the enemy are, the greater the bonus. So I guess when you're up and close, you get more damage reduction and more damage. It could be good, depending on how it scales. Amon gains increased fire rate and status effect chance for the more full his shields are. I think we skip that one. Whenever Amon applies shock to an enemy, gains increased critical hit chance for a duration. I don't know about that. Whenever Amon activates his ordnance or throws a grenade or pulls out his launcher, his next gunshot is converted to incendiary damage, staggering damage enemies and gaining increased damage dealt. Bosses cannot be staggered. Boss and badasses have a chance to be staggered. I mean, I guess maybe we would go with here. Let's see. I'm not sure about that. I think we put 2. I guess 3. Increase fire rate. More shields is full. I guess 2. I guess maybe 2 here. And then we go down here, I guess. Let's see what we have. Kill skill. Amon gains increased melee damage and maximum shield capacity for a duration. This effect can stack. Says whenever Amon deals damage with a melee attack, his current gun has its ammo partially refilled. Amon deals damage with melee. Maybe that could be good. Gun critical hits have a chance to apply weakness for duration. Weaken enemies deal reduced damage. Yeah, we know. Yeah, well, don't we... It says melee damage. I guess melee damage, but this is gun critical hits, so I guess maybe you would want both. So I'm pretty much guaranteed. I guess we Max you out. Whenever Amon kills a weakened enemy, they detonate, dealing incendiary melee damage to nearby enemies. I guess. How many points do I guess we put 2? We put at least 1 point there. I guess we take our capstone here. We have molten slams gain increased radius and stores damage. Pyres erupt upon erupt under upon up erupt up under up to 3 enemies after a delay. Pyres deal additional incendiary melee damage based on the damage stored by the molten slam, distributing among the remaining targets. I mean, I guess this might be good. Oh, we gotta. Can we equip it or no? Oh, we have to change our acting skill. My bad. We are actually in calamity. There we go. I don't know why it says 3 points. I guess that's just they haven't updated this yet. Well, I guess we take that. What do we have here? Kill skill. Whenever Amon kills an enemy while Berserk is active, partially restores Berserker's duration and increased cryo damage from Berserk. Passive requires, so you need a point. We need these two basically. When Amon shields are broken, it is partially restored. It partially restores the shield and detonates, dealing cryo damage to all nearby enemies and freezing them. So this is another big cryo build. Amon gains increased maximum health capacity and deals increased melee damage the more healthful his health is. I mean, whenever anyone deals melee damage, there's a chance to activate kill skills. Well, I guess if you really want to do melee. I guess this is the punch skill, so I guess that makes sense. We still got a few more points. I guess we put some points in the other stuff. Gains status effect application. I don't know. Ordnance. I guess we take this. Increase gun damage the more full his health is. Put 3 there. We got a couple more points. Kill skill. Increase elemental damage. I think we put 3. I guess we put 5. Game modes increase critical hit damage and reload speed. I guess we put our 2 points there. We go back. We have equipped you, so let's see what we have. Yeah, whenever Onslaught is activated, Amon restores his health and shield, and is surrounded by a Forge Storm that deals incendiary status effect damage to nearby enemies over time. Kill skill, killing an enemy inside the Forge Storm restores Amon's action skill duration and increases Forge Storm's damage. I guess we would. That seems pretty good right off the back. Rocket Punch now has 2 modes: increased radius and deals bonus damage based on Amon's maximum shield capacity. Pressing action skill causes Rocket Punch to deal incendiary melee damage. Pressing melee damage causes Rocket Punch to deal cryo damage. And do cryo melee attack damage. So I'm not sure. I think this is a lot better from what it sounds like. What do we have here? Pressing action skill immediately after a Rocket Punch causes Amon to use a follow-up attack, dealing cryo melee attack damage of a large area in front of Amon. Non-boss enemies hit below 25 HP's total health is killed. Below 25 HP are killed. It seems pretty powerful, but I guess we don't really need it. When Onslaught is active, Amon deals damage to enemies. It says gun damage dealt to enemies will be primed for them for a duration, and will detonate when they die or damaged by a forge skill, dealing increased incendiary damage to all nearby enemies. Damage can also be caused by melee attacks, but deal less damage. So maybe we want that because it's in our thing. Amon gains increased status effect chance while Onslaught is active. Pressing action skill launches a concentrated lightning wave that deals shock melee damage to all enemies that passes through. I guess we take this. Maybe this seems pretty powerful too. I guess we just take you then. Let me read everything. What about you? Molten Slam is now Cleave, suppressing and holding action skill to swing a massive forge axe, launching a forge wave that deals cryo melee damage and freezes enemies it passes through. Enemies killed by it cause a detonation, dealing cryo damage. I guess, like I said, this is the cryo section. So this is another shock one. It says now Storm Cutter, pressing hold action skill to swing a massive forge sword, launching a force wave that deals shock melee damage to all enemies it passes through, restores action skill cooldown and action skill duration, and ordnance cooldown for each enemy hit. I mean, that might be really good. I guess, like I said, you pick what you want. This is more shock, this is more cryo, because everything here is cryo. But I guess this is maybe the better option. I'm not sure. Let's see. Reset everything. Yes. Reset, yes. And now we go to, I believe, Vengeance. Let me see something. Did we already do Vengeance? No, we didn't do Vengeance. Wait, did we? No. Well, I guess now we're doing Vengeance. It says Amon gains increased status application chance for cryo effectiveness. It says Amon gains increased ordnance damage for and magazine size. Amon, we've seen this. We've seen these pretty much. Amon gains increased damage the more full his health is. Amon gains increased action skill duration and gun swap speed. And whenever Amon deals ordnance damage, a chance to apply cryo status effect that deals cryo damage over time. Tail of combat is affected by status effect application chance. So, Amon gains increased maximum health capacity and repair healing. Gun damage 3% when full. I guess, is that right? I think these are switched because this is max. So yeah, these stats are switched because this is the gun damage when full, and then this is the max health capacity and repair kit. So that's why those are mixed up for some reason. What do we have here? Gun damage. Amon's gun damage has a chance to ricochet an elemental shard, dealing cryo damage. I think you want that. I think this is mainly cryo damage. Yeah, so I guess that's what we would maybe want. So we go, I guess, maybe 2. Ordnance damage, I guess 2. Or I guess we go with that. We want this, at least 2. Maybe we skip that. Duration and gun swap speed, and I put 2. Whenever anyone deals ordnance damage, a chance to apply cryo status effect, dealing cryo damage over time. I guess we hold off. And then this is a repair kit. We don't really need that. And then, well, I guess we got to keep going. Put 3. Now we get this. I guess we go 3. Kill skill. Amon restores a person's ordnance cooldown. Increase cryo damage. So I guess we put 3. Whenever anyone uses repair kit, his action skill is active. While action skill is active, he partially restores action skill damage. I guess maybe you just put 1 point in there. Now we get down to our other things. We have Wildfire gains increased ricochet damage, burning damage, and burn duration. Okay. Kill skill. Killing an enemy with incendiary damage will grant you stack of flame. Flame affinity for duration. Flame affinity stacks grant increased reload speed and action skill cooldown rate. Okay. Killing an enemy with cryo damage will grant you a stack of cryo affinity for duration. Cryo affinity stacks granting increased gun damage. I think that's what we would want. Amon's critical hits have a chance to apply slow to enemies as if dealt cryo damage. Chances double while action skill is active. Okay. It says ordnance damage has a chance to critically hit and shock enemies when they do. So even if your grenade deals fire, it still maybe does shock also. That could be cool. We have kill skill. Killing an enemy with shock damage grants a stack of shock affinity. For a duration, shock affinity stacks are grant increased critical hit damage. I guess we're going cryo then. Killing it, but I think maybe you would at least want this just for because we have the ricochet, or I guess ricochet as elemental shards. So I don't know if they count as bullets again. They become something new. So I guess we do this, but 3, I guess 2. Now what do we have here? Whenever Amon deals ordnance damage, he has a chance to consume a stack of cryo affinity for each nearby enemy that spawns an elemental shard. For each nearby enemy, it spawned an elemental shard, dealing cryo damage in duration and an area, not duration. I guess 2. When Amon applies a status effect to enemy, there's a chance to partially restore his shield and ammo. I guess another 2. Amon deals increased damage to frozen enemies and bosses. I guess that's another 3. What do you have here? Elemental shards have a chance to ricochet, so there we go. I guess you would max that out, and then we take our here Glacial Rapture. Firewall is now replaced with Glacial Rapture. Press and hold action skill button to swing Forge Whips, dealing cryo ordnance damage over 2 hits to a nearby enemy before slamming onto the ground, creating a cryo fissure to that deals cryo ordnance damage and leaves cryo hazard for duration. I mean, I guess we're doing that with cryo damage. What do we have here? I guess we go up first. Blast Chill. Forge waves now consume more vengeance and explode on impact, dealing cryo ordnance damage in the area. Explosive radius is further increased if Forge wave passes through the firewall. I'm not sure what that means. When Scourge is active, enemy taunts enemies and sends out a cryonic pulse for each second, dealing cryo damage to enemies, restoring allies' health. While Amon's movement speed is reduced. Movement speed is reduced, but Amon gains bonus cryo damage with gun. Consumes vengeance for each gunshot. I mean, I'm not sure what Scourge is either. I guess maybe we'll figure that out later. Forge is now Molten Rebuke. Press and hold action skill to consume all vengeance and throw the Forge shield. I guess vengeance is our. Yeah, what was vengeance? It was our. Whenever vengeance meter is full, so it's I guess the meter that fills up and you get. Instead of meter full, Forge Shield provides damage reduction instead. So it absorbs damage, and then it gives damage reduction once it gets full. Press and hold, Ordnance, Ricochet. Dealing Incendiary Ordnance, Ricochet on impact. Molten Rebuke ricochets additional times based on vengeance consumed. When Forge Shield is thrown, damage absorbed is disabled, but until it returns. I mean, that means something. I don't know what it means. It's hard to understand. Let's see here. Press and hold action skill to throw a Forge Spear that deals shock ordnance damage on impact, assuming vengeance to increase gun damage delta. Increase damage delta. Enemies damaged by the Forge Spears are primed for detonation and will detonate when they are damaged by Forge skills, dealing shock damage to a target, but none to nearby enemies. Detonation can also cause critical hit chance, but deal less damage. I guess we take, well, what was, maybe that. I guess we take our Eternals Winter here. Still got a few more points. Let's see what we want. I guess Forward Skill Cooldown is something we want. Elemental damage we do want. Increased critical hit damage. Reload speed, I guess 2. I guess we go 3. How many points? We still got a lot more points. Maybe another 3. Forward skill damage and detonation damage. I think we want that. We have a lot of that. We skip that. More reload speed, bonus shock damage. I mean, I guess more shock on top of cryo could be good. I guess we do 3. I guess 2. But whenever Amon activates Force skill, he gets increased damage. Maybe we want that. So whenever Amon critical hit chance with guns for a duration. Critical hit chance for a duration with guns for a duration. Increased shock damage. I guess we put another 3 here. Well, I guess we maxed that. We maxed that out all the way. Let's move that right rid of that. I guess this is good. I'm not really sure what a lot of these stuff are. I guess vengeance. So let me see. It says whenever Forward's frontal damage is vengeance. Whenever the vengeance meter is full. So I guess it's you take damage and then eventually it starts to fill up a meter that becomes. And then instead of blocking damage, it gives you damage reduction. Vengeance drains rapidly. If not, gained recently. Assuming vengeance. When using oil seed, I'm not sure what that means. Like I said, I'm trying to still understand this. I guess this is. I mean, it still sounds pretty cool, even with all this, especially with all the cryo that you can potentially do in the ricochets. I don't know. I think maybe once we get in, you see like the actual updated skill tree or the official skill tree. I think this hasn't been updated, or maybe some of the translations or the way it's written hasn't been updated. There's some things that aren't, I guess, explained or showcased. When we look at anything else, let's see. We got to go here. No, that's just the whip. Go here. Let's see. Here's the axe. And then the other one is a punch, I think. Yeah, the punch overloads his forged fist. Gains content, shield regeneration, bonus to Syndria with guns, and movement speed. Press and hold. Press the action skill or melee to punch, rocket punch, dashing towards target, dealing Syndria melee damage in a short range cone, causing stagger. Bosses cannot be staggered, and bandits have a chance to be staggered. I mean, like I said, some of this, it's hard to explain exactly what a lot of this is, but it's basically, I think I get the gist of what it is. I think Vengeance might be the go-to. The punch seems pretty cool. The Forge Axe seems pretty cool. You can basically have a bunch of axes that follow you around and can throw them, and they kind of deal a bunch of damage. Get a bunch of enemies, and you can kind of stack that and get a bunch of bonuses from doing that. That's basically what this is. This is kind of like blocking damage and then picking an element that kind of you want to specialize in or have your affinity with. So it's cryo, shock, or fire. I guess maybe you could dip into both and have both and kind of jump between the two, or maybe deal both cryo and fire, or maybe cryo and shock, or maybe fire and shock, or something like that. I think that's kind of the idea. I think Amon is still going to be probably my favorite character, or my first character I might play. If, like I said, some of this doesn't make any sense, so I know I'm sorry about that. If you guys maybe can explain what exactly this is, or maybe I can just go look up more information about some of the other details that aren't being explained here on this website. But I'm not sure. So I guess that's going to be it for Amon. Maybe we can. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. We don't know about Harlow. Like I said, she might come out, or they might reveal her by the end of the week, or maybe next week. Who knows? I know there's going to be a bunch of showcases, so maybe they're going to show her and more gameplay and more stuff like that. So when she does come out and they put her on here, maybe I'll go check her out as soon as I can. But I guess that's going to be it for Amon. Be sure to check out the Vex and Rafa if you want to see that. And goodbye.